Hi, everyone. Welcome to our live webinar, How AI in Power Platform is Optimizing Business Processes. I'm Alessia, and I am joined today by Hamza Khan. We are excited to show you how AI in the Power platform is transforming the way organizations design, automate, and improve their businesses. Before we dive in, just a quick few housekeeping notes. This session is being recorded, so you will get an email with the recordings. You can watch it again or share with colleagues. We will also have a Q&A segment at the end, but feel free to drop questions in the chat at any time. We will do our best to answer as many as possible. We will also share the slide deck and additional resources after the session. Before we jump into the content, a quick word about Imperium Dynamics. We are a Microsoft-focused ISV and services partner, building solutions on Power Platform and the broader Microsoft ecosystem. Our teams work with organizations across the US, Europe, and the Middle East to modernize applications, automate workflows, and deploy AI solutions at scale. For today's agenda, we will cover the key challenges organizations face around business process optimization, what's broken today and what they hope to achieve, how AI in Power Platform addresses those challenges, including AI Builder, Copilot, AI templates, agents, and Power BI. We will also go through the business impacts we're seeing, efficiency, cost savings, and quality improvements, recent innovations in the platform, especially Copilot and agentic capabilities. Then we will go into a live demo to show these capabilities in action. And finally, we will talk about the future of AI in Power Platform and share some impact data, followed by a Q&A. So right now, these are the challenges we are seeing in workflow management. Let's start with what most organizations are dealing with today. Manual processes. Many workflows still rely heavily on manual steps, which slows things down and introduces errors. Poor data quality alone can cost large enterprises millions every year. Bottlenecks and delays. A lot of product or service launches are delayed because workflows break down somewhere between teams, systems, or approvals. Fragmented information. Nearly half of knowledge workers struggle to find the data they need. Information is scattered across email, spreadsheets, chat, and line of business systems. Outdated technology. It's tough to get a clear view of processes, scale operations, or continuously improve when systems are outdated. All of this slows organizations down and increases operational risk. The goals of process optimization. So this is what are organizations trying to achieve with process optimization? Boosting productivity, automating repetitive tasks frees people up for higher value work. AI-driven automation can unlock productivity gains of up to 40% in targeted workflows. Reducing costs, streamlined processes, and shorter cycle times can cut labor and operational costs by 25 to 30% in many scenarios. Improving quality, standardizing processes, and using AI to validate and enrich data reduces manual errors and improves compliance. Lastly, increasing agility. Optimized processes allow faster decision-making, giving staff more time for strategic initiatives instead of chasing status updates. Next, we are going to be talking about how AI in Power Platform can optimize business processes. And I will pass it over to Hamza, who will walk us through this.
Thank you, Alicia, for that brief introduction about how we will be dealing with in this session. So first and foremost, we'll be talking about how AI Builder in Power Automate actually works. We all are aware of what Power Automate itself is capable of. So basically, AI Builder gives you no code AI models such as form processing, object detection, prediction, and classification that you can just drop directly into your Power Automate flows. That means you can extract data from documents, categorize records, or predict outcomes without having to build actual models or deploy your own custom models. Simply, you can also use AI Builder for AI summaries and insights by adding models into your Power Automate flows. Importantly, this is accessible for citizen developers. They can configure, train models with minimal effort, and you do not need to be a data scientist to start using AI within your processes. Down the lane, we will actually explore how AI summaries in Power Automate actually works. So, Elisa, can you move on to the next slide? Yep. So Copilot AI driven designs and templates. This is basically Copilot within Power Platform. So on the app side, Copilot's app builder lets you generate complex applications from natural language or sample data. For example, if you want to create an application that just wants to, calculate the budget, calculate finances, stuff like that. So you can just type in prompts like you do in daily life with ChatGPT is, hey, I want an application that can manage my budget, that can manage my finances. And there are 5 agents within the app planner that will get right on working. They will create your data models, they will create your workflows, and actually they can create some quite complex workflows that are required according to your use case. So Copilot creates the initial app, then you can refine screens, fields, and logic through simple prompts. The key point is that solutions are no longer always built step by step from blank canvas. They can be created with AI, which shortens time to value significance, right? As Alicia mentioned in our previous slides. So on to the next one. Yep. Next, we have AI agents within Power Platform. AI agents, as it is a talk of the town these days. So, Copilot lets you build agent that sits at the front door of your processes. These agents handle user interactions via natural language, whether that is in Teams or on web or embedded inside applications. They interpret user requests, retrieve data from your systems through Power Automate and connectors. They can actually provide real-time engagement by connecting to data resources such as Dataverse, SQL, or any other line of business systems to answer your questions and update the records on fly. Basic use cases for AI agents within Power Platform includes IT support, HR inquiries, customer service, and internal operations. Anywhere you see repeated questions and routine actions, AI agent is a good candidate, which can be built within Copilot Studio. On to the next one. Yep. Now this one is my personal favorite is AI in Power BI. So Power BI can actually use Azure Cognitive Services to enrich your data. For example, you can apply sentiment analysis to your customer feedback so you can quickly see which products, regions, or channels are trending positive or negative. The Q&A feature which shows that it allows users to ask questions about the data in plain language and get instant visualizations. For instance, if we have a sales report in Power BI and within the Q&A card we can just simply uh, type in the prompt that okay, within Q2 of 2025 I see a drop in sales, what might be the cause? The AI will read from your data source upon which the Power BI report is being constructed, and it will give you the feedback like, okay, these are the products, this was the market strategy. So it's like, it's like a genie out of a bottle kind of thing. So with AutoML integration and Power BI, it actually enables analysts to build and apply predictive models for forecasting and recommended actions without leaving the Power BI environment. So on to the next slide, please. Right. So what's new within Power Platform innovations? Now I'll share my screen and I'll show you a quite a short demo of how we can actually incorporate AI within the Power Platform. So I'll be sharing my screen. Let me know when it's visible. Is it visible?
Yep.
Yep. So first and foremost, we will be, going into Power Automate, how we can leverage AI within Power Automate. So over here, I have constructed a simple flow which will trigger when I will enter a text file, and we are actually using AI builder action over here. And within that action, as you can see over here in the model section, I'm using the model for AI summary, and the input text is the file content of the file that I'll be giving it to. So as you can see, there are numbers of models that you can use. You can use it for sentiment analysis, for receipt scanning, for document processing, whatever your use case is, AI builder has got you covered. So let's just see this action, let's just see this thing in action over here. So I'm just going to select my model, and I'm just going to give it the file content, and let's just save it and run it. So what it will do, actually, let me just explain that to you. So it will take the file as an input, and it will summarize the content, and it will then create a file within my SharePoint site, which would have the summary of the file that I just gave it to. So let's just run this thing. So manually test. So as you can see, we have our input over here. So let's just import some file. Okay, I have this error detail file within my system. So I'm just gonna run this thing, and it's going to show you the working and everything, how much time does one action actually take. So the flow is actually triggered, our AI model is onto its working, and our file is also created. So I'm just gonna go over into my SharePoint site and refresh it. And as you can see, summary1.txt, this is the summary, and let's just see the summary. So the text is an error report indicating that web resource method dot this does not exist. This error occurred during the onload event in a web application. So what it actually does is that I give the input of error log, and it actually summarizes that, and it just told me that, okay, the file that you just gave it to me, it was about this. So this is just one of the use case for the demo. For instance, if you want to apply this within your real life, how this would be very helpful. For instance, we have a meeting of an hour long meeting, and we need to find the key points within from that meeting. So what I would just do, I would just simply feed my meeting transcript, and I would just say, okay, just give me the summary and key points, and what are the action items that I can act upon from this meeting, and it'll just give you that. So this is one of the use cases. And secondly, as we talked about Copilot within Power Platform, so this is another interesting thing that we have. As I mentioned earlier, that uh, from Copilot, we can actually create almost anything that we really want to. So as you can see, we already have some templates over here. Employee needs to log vacation hours, stuff like that. So for our demo purposes, I'll just say I need an application that would manage my finances. Actually, I do need that one, and budget. So let's just hit enter over here. Right. As you can see, these 5 agents, they are all onto working. One of them is a requirement agent, one of them is a process agent, one of them is a data agent, and one of them is a solution agent. So what we are actually seeing over here is something that, in layman terms, we could say uh, beneath that hood. So let's just see what are the requirements. So individual users, as a user, I need to add categorize income expenses so that I can track my cash flow, set budget limits. Okay, these requirements looks good. That's what I actually want. I can also edit the user requirements. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead with this. So what it's gonna do, it's gonna now create user processes like workflows, how things will be managing within this application. So that's just Copilot doing everything. Like my hands are over here. So it's gonna take some time to get onto the requirements and everything. And as you can see, as I mentioned, our requirement agent's work is done. So our process agent is now, working. So The agent gave me the output that this process encompasses all activities related to tracking income, expenses, setting and monitoring budget. Looks good to me. I'm just going to hit enter over here. Now it's actually going to create tables for me that are going to be within my application, and that's where we'll be storing our data, which is within Dataverse. So, okay, account, expense category, budget looks good to me. So I'll just hit enter over here. And as you can see, it has created a Canvas app for me. It has created a Power BI report for me, and it has also created a Power Automate flow. So what does this flow do? Automatically notifies user when spending nears or exceed category budgets to help adjust his spending in time. Perfect, looks good to me. I'm just gonna hit enter over here. So now what it's doing, it's actually working within my solution and creating the application itself. I'm just gonna hit save over here, and yep, personal finance tracker, perfect. I'm just gonna hit save. Now, as you can see, within 3 minutes, I have an application up and running within few clicks. And my use case is I just needed an application to, track my spending habits. And I have that within what you can say 5 to 10 clicks, I believe. So instead of, going manually, creating your data, creating data models, creating Power Automate flows, Power BI. It's actually quite time consuming. And as Alicia mentioned in her earlier slides, that with the help of AI within Power Platform, we can actually be very efficient with our delivery launches and everything. So your tables have been created to create and customize object. Just so if I just go into my solutions and let's just see, we will have a solution over here. Personal finance tracker. Perfect. So Copilot just did all that for me. Right. So this is one of the example. Now another example is, let's just say, Copilot within a model-driven application. So now what I'll be showing you is that I have an application already developed and it's about budget management, and how I can use AI to extract knowledge or to get to know more about the record or the application itself. So it's just going to take a moment to load in. As you can see, we have a simple request for plane. That's an air filter for plane. This is my manager, this is my director, and it's around $5,600. So what I'm just gonna click over here for Copilot, and a Copilot window will open up, and I can actually chat with my bot over there, and we can also customize the prompts and everything. That again depends on what your use case actually is. So for instance, it's just a quite simple model driven app. For instance, if we have a huge enterprise solutions and we need to get to know about, okay, what are the things and what are the information that I need. So as you can see, hi Hamza, ready to explore. You can ask questions about this table, its record, approvals and admin. So let's just see, w- let's just say how many tables are there, right? How many tables are there? So as you can see, we also have this view prompts over here in which we can actually customize our view. Oh, sorry, I don't know that one yet, but I'm always learning. So that's a bummer over here. So we can actually, this is not configured yet, but we can actually ask things about our application and stuff like that. Moving on towards AI agents, or, one can say Copilot. So this is a basic chatbot that I've created for this demo purposes, and I'll also show you how this actually works. So this is a process AI for Copilot. It uses the document that is present within its knowledge source to answer questions about the AI program and process optimization. So for instance, if I were to ask, let's just say, what is our AI program for? Just hit enter over here. So it's actually going into my knowledge resource, gathering the information and giving me the output. So overview of our AI program. So this is what the program is about. This is the intended audience that, will be within the program. So if I were to go over here, I'm like, okay, what's under the hood? So actually we can see that there is actually a trigger. We have questions over here. These are the topics that you can define, and it's pretty much very easy. And we can also have agents within this, and we can actually create agents according to our desired use case. We can actually integrate this with Power BI and lots of other connectors and data sources as well. So this is something that is, I mean, one of the best things that this year I have explored within Power Platform, and we, as a senior developer